Welcome back to Combine this week, and I got a guy here that knows what it's like to run around at the Underwear Olympics. He did it a number of years ago and was selected by the Baltimore Ravens. He still makes part of his home here in Baltimore as promised, although he is a wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. He joined us a couple weeks ago at the Super Bowl in Houston. He is here to talk all things Torrey Smith Family Fund charity basketball game. Is going to be held down at the Royal Farms Arena March 19th at 3 o'clock. Torrey, I'm looking at the pictures from last year. This looks like a pretty big hootenanny you had going on down there, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a great fundraiser for us, and more than that, it's the community involvement. It's everyone that's local helping out. The majority of the players are people who are affiliated with Baltimore. So it's always a great time, a great family event. I mean, literally everyone from my babies to my grandmother, will be here. So it's fun for all ages.
Can I get back to the genesis of all this? Because, look, I have video up on the internet of much, much younger and more handsome version of me and you down at College Park talking in front of your locker when you were a Terp. And this journey from there to, hey, maybe I'll get drafted. Maybe I'll get drafted on the first day. Maybe I'll get drafted by the Redskins or the Ravens or the Eagles and get to stay at home. And now you're out in San Francisco. You've been paid. You got a ring on your finger, beautiful wife and a family. And you've had these tragedies within your world that we're all aware of. At what point did the basketball thing and this event, when did it really kind of take shape? Because it's very clear you're committed to it. And look, I've been doing this for 3 decades, man. You're not the first one. Pam Shriver did tennis. Muggsy Bogues did basketball. You're continuing a long line of doing this. But what was the inspiration for you to do this and basketball? Because, Ray Lewis did bowling. Why basketball?
All right, basketball because everyone can see your face. Everyone can be there. When we put on a football camp, that eliminates my grandmother from being out there because it'll probably be hot as I don't know what. So
right.
And then when it comes to let's say bowling, there's only a certain amount of people that can be there because of the space and fire codes and all that good stuff. So we do a charity basketball game. Everyone can see their favorite players. They can also see some of their athleticism. And, it doesn't, everyone can be involved. Young women, older women, young men, older men. It's just a great family event, and everyone's always played basketball growing up. So it's always fun to watch some guys who feel like they should be in the NBA show their true skills on the court.
Yeah, let's dish some dirt here. How's Flacco? How's his game?
Flacco can shoot. I'll never forget when he played in my high school, and he had these shorts that were probably 6 inches long, shirt tucked in. It was the worst outfit I've ever seen in my life. I think I might pull that picture up and post it one day.
Oh, dude, that'll help you sell tickets, man. Come on,
goodness.
Put that out on Twitter. Come on, I got to reshare. I got to retweet for you, man. I'll help you out. I'm in.
I'm gonna make sure I go find that because I just remember I couldn't even concentrate on the plan. I'm just like, what you doing? It was crazy.
Rick Barry, right? In 1970. Pete Maravich, 77. That's how I see Flacco. I see Flacco as having no conscience at all. I see him as a shooter, man.
Oh, yeah. He definitely he was letting them go from some range.
So who have you got this year? I'm looking at last year's picture, or maybe it's last year. I see Flacco, I see Ladarius, I see Sharice Wright, I see Jamil, I see Sam Cook, I see Kadri. Let's see here. Bobby Zirkin, one of our representatives here. I'm going through all these names. Anquan's in this picture. What you got cooked up this year?
Probably everyone that you just said will be there. Jacoby Jones will be back. So
can you make him dance? If he dances, then, share the pictures of Dancing with the Stars with him. That'll help sell some. I'm trying to help you sell tickets here, Tor. I want to back the place, man.
You know what? It's definitely our folks to try to get more people out there, but, we want the event to kind of sell itself. Obviously I have to use social media, and you have to talk to media and things like that, but a lot of people have just been telling their friends about it from the last time, and honestly, it's a good way especially for the Baltimore community to be involved with, some of the players who played here and had a big imprint here, including current players. So I'm looking forward to meeting some of their younger guys there as well. But, again, I think guys like T. West and Just a bunch of the guys who are current will be there as well. So even if they're not playing, they'll be hanging out.
You bringing any of your Niners buddies? Any Terp? I mean, by the way, the Terps are selling right now. You might be competing with the Terps, 32 game that day, right? I mean, that's a big basketball weekend.
Oh yeah,
there.
The tournament opens that Saturday, so we definitely hope that no one from the University of Maryland can come and support us that day. From administration on down. So we want to make sure that that everyone knows that first and foremost. But it's gonna be fun, man. It's the times will be a little different. So we weren't really too concerned about that, but that's something that I don't want to miss as well.
All right, so let's talk some Terps basketball. Then we'll get to some 49ers football, amongst other stuff, and of course your community efforts here. Boy, this has been an interesting Terps season, right? I mean, I don't think we had higher expectations than we had for last year, and yet you looked up 3 weeks ago and they're 20-2. I know there's been some stumbles lately, but sure has been a fun young team to watch this year.
Absolutely, I think Coach is doing a great job there. I've enjoyed watching them from afar. I'm looking forward to watching them in person on Saturday. So I'm going to head on down there for a game. So it's going to be pretty cool, man. That's the second home. When I wasn't involved with football, I was always supporting our basketball team.
Yeah, what was your involvement with the basketball team? Like, you mentioned Coach as though he was your coach, right? I mean, how well did you know the basketball guys and in dual support there during your era? Because let's be honest, things have improved since you left, right? It's better now than it was when you were there.
You know what? But they won the ACC one time when I was there.
They did.
Grievous was there. That's my boy. I remember Cliff Tucker in the Big Three versus Carolina. Dino Gregory, a Baltimore guy. There's a bunch of guys that are, that we went to college with there who were, we're friends. We still communicate to this day. So, it's college. So athletes, you kind of stick together. Our schedules are similar. We share the same cafeterias at times. So, we all coming together. So we've always been very supportive of one another, since we've stepped foot on campus, and still the same way now.
Were you a dude that hated the ACC move to the Big Ten? Because we're 3 years into this, man, and I sit here and talk about this every day. And I wasn't a bleeding heart about it. I mean, I knew they were a bunch of, they were the whores that were going to take the money because the money's too big to not take the money. And, people really pushed and shoved about the Big Ten thing. I love being in the Big Ten. I mean, I love that the Big Ten tournament's in D.C. next weekend. I mean, I'm into it. I'm into it more than I was with the ACC because these schools are bigger. You're going to see next week in the Big Ten tournament down in D.C., they're going to travel, the Indianas, the Michigan States, even the Northwesterns and the Nebraskas and the Wisconsins. I love being in the Big Ten.
Yeah, you know what? I was probably the biggest hater of the move.
Really? Okay.
I could probably stare a hole through Mr. Anderson when he first announced that move. But then, I think it was more so for selfish reasons. Like, it's like, all right, like, the traditions I know. I'm a Virginia boy, so it's like, man, like, they don't play UVA anymore. They don't play Virginia Tech anymore. They don't go to the Carolinas. And nothing's close anymore. But I think it's been a great move for the school. I think financially you can already see the benefits of it. And it's pretty cool to see the type of travel, like you said, they have in that conference. And I like, more importantly, like the changes that you're able to see within the school because of the move. And everything will pay off. I think so far it's been awesome, and I think we've been competing well. I mean, I think women's basketball has been dominating. Soccer's killing it. Lacrosse, football, will be there soon. They played some pretty good games, so you give all those coaches some time. They'll be able to do what they do in one of the best conferences in football.
Well, football is what you do, and, obviously competing with the Ohio States and, the Michigans year after year, Penn State back on it now again, that's really where you measure yourself. I mean, I for 25 years, the Terps never really got better at football, and Florida State and Miami never really sort of fell from that pedestal. I feel like in the Big Ten, Maryland's improving for sure, and I think when you see the improvements down there with Cole Field, that breaks my heart, by the way, to see that thing gutted out like an airplane hangar. But
crazy, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think when it's all done and they take the aerial photos of it, I think they're going to wind up with a better football program there in the end. Now, you know as much as anyone. You played there. You know, you got your brains beaten in a couple of times, and you know how difficult that is. But, I think from a recruiting standpoint, people are going to walk on that campus and think differently. And I think they're going to be able to recruit in the Big West just because Maryland is shown now in homes in Michigan and Ohio and Indiana and Illinois and other places.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think you just got to figure out a way to get the fans back behind it. I don't think people realize how hard it is. Like, Maryland has a beautiful campus. It's a very center campus. The location is awesome. You have the college town feel, but you're close to, two major cities in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. It has everything you want. You know what I mean? But the hardest part is that you compete with the Ravens. You compete with the Redskins.
The Wizards now.
You compete
the
with
Capitals.
the Wizards. You know what I mean? So it's pretty tough, for the school. But I think if people realize, how hard those cats are working on campus, and more importantly, when especially football-wise, when we get back to winning more consistently, that there's some good things happening in College Park.
Hey, it's Torrey Smith, the Family Fun charity basketball games a couple weeks from now. It's March 19th. Mark that on your calendars. 3 o'clock. It's at the Royal Farms Arena. Torrey does this every year. Tell everybody where the money goes and what the Family Fund is all about, Torrey.
Well, it's Family Fund. We changed it from the foundation to the fund because it makes it a lot easier for us to manage it. My wife and I are very hands-on, and so we want to make sure we're doing everything properly. So the fund is the reason for that change. But we focus on the majority of our efforts are right here in Baltimore. We've said when we left that, we weren't just going to leave and not continue our program. So this year we're launching some after-school programs with the first one, our pilot school being Franklin Square Elementary and Middle. We also have our Level Teen Summit, which we take. Well, last year was 30 kids to the University of Maryland, but this year we're going to make it a little bit different. And have 100 kids. So whether it's I guess I can't announce the details on that because that's not necessarily public. But we also have kids that we mentor as well in high school. And, we do the holidays and stuff, but that isn't our main focus. We've been trying to figure out ways to, create change for, a long term. And we've also, kind of come up with a movement called the Level Movement, and Level standing for leadership, education, vision, effort, and love. And those are all things, those 5 principles are very important to an individual's success. So we're trying to spread that message through everything we do and try to make and change an impact on the city and help change lives.
I know you did the seminar over at Dunbar, and I know we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Have you been over to the UA House yet and seen what they've done with the former Carmelo Anthony Center over there?
Absolutely. It's awesome. We have a great relationship with Living Classrooms. Actually, some
as
of the kids
do we. By the
there.
way, 5% of all of our profits here at WNST go to Living Classrooms because of Brian Billick. So there you have it. Brian Billick's role still helping Living Classrooms through NST. So we're partners in that effort, Torrey.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. And that's what it takes. It feel like we're all a part of the village. Whether it's Living Classrooms, whether it's WNST, or just your average Joe around here. And we're all a part of trying to build this community up and this city up because it's a city full of potential and a city full of great people, just need our help.
I hear babies in the background. What's going on around there? You making more babies?
That's little Cameron over here babbling away. He has his milk bottle just staring me up, struggling with the West Coast time. So we have to get him good going on East Coast time for this month.
I'm jet lagged myself. By the way, I gotta bust your chops here, man. I pulled up the it's torreysmith.org. There's a picture of you skying over the basket. You legitimately look like LeBron going in. I don't know what angle that picture was taken from or how you photoshopped that thing together. But I mean, are you gonna dunk on March 19th or what?
That always happens. So I'm pretty athletic. You gotta make sure you look up my throwback college picture when we had the dunk contest.
Man, well, the football guys all want to be ballers. The ballers all want to be rappers, right? So you got some music going on. Give me the run of the day. What can people expect other than just Joe Flacco and you and a bunch of buddies out there playing basketball on the 19th?
Yeah, we have giveaways. The coolest thing that we added to it which I'm probably most proud of. We'll see how it actually impacts people, but we also are having a book fair there. Like, so Scholastic will be there selling books. So we're trying to continue to preach the importance of, reading and recreational reading. So
I write books, by the way, Tori, especially when you win championships. When you win, I write. How about that?
Yeah, the books. I mean, because every book there is going to be $5, right, versus just standard book fair. But we are also bringing in groups of kids that, we've sponsored and identified to have access to the book. So there'll be, 100, 200 kids or so who'll be able to get books from there, but it'll be also open to the public once the games start. And we also created a resource fair because when we came back to Baltimore to have that, our program that we call Conversations for Change, the biggest issue was, or one of the biggest issues was people communicating that, they don't know where to get help. So we're going to introduce them to certain groups, and there are some groups that are doing a great job in the city. So give them the opportunity to link up with some of these people, and maybe we connect the dots. We connect the dots for one person, and it helps change them or their child's life, then we did our job. So we're looking forward to rolling that out.
Well, if you need me to donate some books, let me know, bro. I'm happy to donate a couple cases of books for your efforts on the 19th. It's always great to have you. And as life as a 49er, I can't let you go without talking a little bit of football. Obviously, it was not, your best effort, their best. Everybody's trying to get better in this league. That's what the Combine's about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been 2 very miserable years. There's no secrets about that. But, I think everything can get back on track. As an organization, I think we're going in the right direction. I think they hired, a great GM and coach. And so I'm looking forward to, my role in trying to help get things back on track.
It is fascinating, John Lynch, right? I mean, you have a whole new thing going on there. It's, I guess it's exciting being in on the inside of it. I mean, I saw Lynch at the Super Bowl. Lord knows he was excited.
Yeah, I think, I had the opportunity to sit down with him. And, just the way he communicates, the vision he has for the team and for the organization, I think everything aligns with winning ways. And so obviously it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. So I have to make sure that I'm doing my part to help bring this thing in the right direction, which I haven't done the best of. Obviously football, certain things have to go a certain way for me to be successful. But even beyond that, just trying to be the best leader I can be the best teammate I can be. And I can't say that I always dealt with the struggle the right way because it was so new to me. But I'm looking forward to, the last 2 years have been very challenging and humbling in a lot of ways. So I'm looking forward to, getting back on track and help lead, the organization to where it should be.
Appreciate your leadership for everything you've done here in our community because we are Baltimoreans. I was here before you were here, and I might be here when you're gone. But, meantime, let's get together and make some magic happen on March 19th. It's a Torrey Smith Family Fun charity basketball game. It's held at the Royal Farms Arena. Tickets are $15. You can donate tickets. You can donate to the Family Fund. You can come down and support the efforts of a fellow Terp, a former Raven, and a world champion. I never forget to get that part of there in there. By the way, where do you keep your ring these days, Torrey? I like to ask that question. Where's your ring?
You know what? Since we sold our house, it actually is in the Bay Area with me. But, I never pull it out. I joke with my teammates about, hey, I'm going to bring it in. We got a little show and tell. But
it's too big to wear, right? Literally, it's too big.
It's too big to wear, and I don't wear it to any events out there. So, it's probably more appropriate to be back here, but our house isn't ready yet. So it'll be back in a year or two, back where it belongs, right here in Baltimore.
Well, build it and they will come. That's what you've done on March 19th. Hey, congrats, man. We'll send everybody out to follow you on Twitter. It's always a fun follow. Bring the babies, grandmom, everybody down to the arena on the 19th of March. Maybe it's a doubleheader. Maybe the Terps are playing after, before, something like that. It could be a big hootenanny down there. We'll see you on the 19th. Torrey, always a pleasure to check in with you, man. Thanks for making some time, and thanks for all that you do here, man.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you having me. And also, if you can't make it, you can also donate a ticket for a kid in the city to come at torreysmith.org. So that's always an option.
Well, I'm going to make it, but I live 6 blocks away, so I have no excuses. If you don't see me down there, you're allowed to call and yell at me on the 20th. All right.
All right, I'll see you there.
I hope so. Torrey Smith, there he goes. March 19th is the big day. And, of course, you can follow his journey out on Twitter as well. Now with the San Francisco 49ers, but always a Raven. And obviously, coming back here in Baltimore in the offseason and doing stuff, one of the really good dudes to ever put on a purple sweater or a red sweater for that matter. As we talk a little Terps basketball and football there with Torrey Smith. You can find me out in the Bayou Toyota Audio Vault 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world, even out in the Bay Area where Torrey Smith built the place. You can do that by downloading the TuneIn Radio app. Our morning newspaper ships to your email inbox at 7 a.m. each and every morning. That's brought to you by Planet Fitness and PlanetFitness.com, where it's still $10 a month to get in the best shape of your life. Last but never least, any breaking news? Lord knows there's going to be stuff going on with the Ravens here this week with free agency. You'll get it first on the WNST text service. That is brought to you by Coons Ford of Security Boulevard. Nasty at WNST.net's the way to find me. If you're interested in the London road trip, that's now on sale. We do have space available. I get that question every day. Go to the road trips tab up at WNST.net, and Pete will help you out with that. You can also toss me an email. Don't forget, on March 20th, the day after Torrey's event, we're going to welcome head coach Barry Trotz up here to Baltimore for a Rock the Red Rock the Red celebration Caps Stanley Cup Presidential Cup thing. Yes, March 20th. We're going to have details next week for you. We'll also have details up on our Twitter and at WNST.net. I'm Nestor. This is WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore. And we never stop talking Baltimore sports.